This video is sponsored by Rocket Money, more on them later. Welcome back to another video, and today I'll be talking about one piece of lost media from every state. Of course, I will be talking about media that is still lost, but I will also be talking about lost media that has been found. So it is a mix of the both. And since I will be covering all 50 states, I do want to let you guys know that I'll be going in alphabetical order. And for whatever reason, when I told Tuv that I'm making this video idea, he wanted to be in it for whatever reason. So I'm like, you know what? If you want to be in this video, sure, why not? So for entries number 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50, Tuv will take over this video, which is pretty cool of him. Don't forget to check out all my other social medias. I posted this fire Spider-Man pic that you guys should most definitely check out. And if you're new here to the channel, just watch the video till the end. And if you guys like it, then like the video and consider subscribing. But let's get straight into this video. Alabama. 1970 NASCAR Grand National Series. The 1970 NASCAR Grand National Series marked the 22nd season of NASCAR's top-level stock car racing. Bobby Isaac, driving a 1969 Dodge, narrowly secured the championship over Bobby Allison. Among the races from this season, several televised events have since gone missing, although the broadcasts of the Alabama 500 and National 500 were eventually made public. The 1970 Alabama 500, held on April 12th at the Alabama International Motor Speedway, was the 10th race of the season and had significant historical importance as the first points-paying NASCAR race to be televised live. The race was won by Pete Hamilton in a 1970 Plymouth, following a dramatic late race incident where Buddy Baker's car caught on fire, forcing him to retire. Despite Hamilton's clear victory, the ABC broadcast of the event was marred by confusion and errors, particularly around the race's scoring, which led to a miscommunication about the leader in the final laps. The broadcast also suffered from technical issues, including poor audio quality and missed coverage of key moments, such as Baker's crash. NASCAR's deal with ABC Sports in 1969, valued at $1,365,000, was pivotal as it included the live broadcast of 5 races in 1970. However, the Alabama 500's broadcast was delayed by rain and plagued by several production challenges, including ABC's refusal to show races in their entirety. The scoring confusion during the broadcast led to criticism, with ABC blaming NASCAR for inaccuracies. Although NASCAR officials disputed this claim, this piece of lost media is considered partially found due to the fact that some races are lost from the NASCAR Grand National Series, but at least the Alabama race is considered found media. Alaska. Timothy Treadwell. Timothy Treadwell, also known as the Grizzly Man, was a bear enthusiast, environmentalist, documentary filmmaker, and founder of the bear protection organization Grizzly People. Timothy would always get dangerously close to bears for his documentaries, which eventually led to his death. On October 5th, 2003, Timothy and his girlfriend would go camping in a national park in Alaska, where they would both be mauled to death by a grizzly. Timothy would have his camera at the time to record what's happening, but the lens cap was still on, leading Timothy to pick up the audio of him and his girlfriend's death. The audio does exist, and the one who has the audio is one of Timothy's ex-girlfriends. A documentary about Treadwell's life was made in 2005, in which the director was allowed to listen to the real audio. The director then told the ex-girlfriend that she should destroy the tape, but she ended up keeping it and not destroying it. The tape is now locked away in a deposit box. However, there has been a new discovery. On June 22nd, 2023, YouTuber Wide Awake was able to enhance the audio from the Grizzly Man documentary, where the director listened to Treadwell's death on headphones. In the enhanced audio, you can faintly hear Treadwell scream, "Get away," and "Hit it." And of course, I will show you guys the audio, and by the way, there's no need for a warning because there's nothing crazy in the audio. Well, something crazy does happen, of course, but you don't hear anything graphic.
The brain is right here. Hey, get away, go away. Affirmative.
For the record, this piece of lost media is still considered lost because I won't count an enhanced audio clip to be considered found media because you could barely hear anything and you don't even hear the screams, which for the record, I do not want this audio to be found out of respect for Timothy Treadwell, because when it comes to like very tragic events with lost media, dude, don't even bother to try to find them. So I'm glad that you can't even hear anything in the first place, but this is still technically lost media. Arizona Tucson shooting. On January 8th, 2011, a tragic mass shooting took place at a meeting in a supermarket parking lot in Casas Adobes, Arizona. At 10:10 a.m., a gunman shot Representative Gabby Gifford in the head at close range and then fired at the crowd, killing 6, including Federal District Court Judge John Roll. A supermarket employee reported hearing 15 to 20 gunshots. The shooter was eventually caught by a guy named Roger, who struck him in the head with a folding chair, which led to his apprehension. Security footage reportedly captured the gunman shooting Gifford in a distance of 3 feet before targeting others nearby. Judge Roll is believed to have died while trying to protect Ronald Barber. A Gifford's employee was wounded but survived. The FBI is in possession of the security footage, but it has never been released, and let's be real, this will never surface to the public. Arkansas. Okay, there's a problem. When I searched up Arkansas on the Lost Media Wiki, nothing popped up because nothing happens in Arkansas. I bet only like 2 people from Arkansas are watching this video. No one lives there. However, I do not want to skip over the Arkansas entry, so I will be pulling something out of my butt to make up for Arkansas. So I will be talking about everyone's favorite penny pinching low income streamer Queso, who is from Arkansas. Queso is a Twitch streamer known for creating content around video games, often engaging with his audience through live streams where he plays a variety of games. He started in 2022 but became mainstream when it came to the memes around mid-2023, meaning that there's a possibility that some of Queso's old VODs have become lost media. Can't confirm if Queso has any lost media, but considering that Twitch does not archive older VODs and permanently deletes the stream, that even the streamer no longer has access to it. Therefore, there's a chance that Queso may have lost media. I mean, if Blue Rye has lost media, then most likely Queso has like 1 missing VOD. I don't know, I'm just making this up, but there's a possibility. Shout out to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video. Rocket Money is the personal finance app that helps you save money, cancel unwanted subscriptions, and manage your budget all in one place. If you're like me, you've probably got subscriptions that you didn't even know that you were paying for. Or maybe you just want to get a handle on your expenses. Rocket Money is here to help. Recently, I found out that I was still paying for a food delivery service that I haven't been using for almost a year, which is such a waste of money. And luckily with Rocket Money, it made it easier to cancel. They identified the subscription and canceled it with just a couple of taps inside the app. No more headaches and no more unnecessary charges. And let me just tell you that I am saving up for a new place, so budgeting is very important to me right now. Rocket Money lets me create a custom budget that tracks where my money's going. It automatically categorizes my spending and even notifies me when I'm getting close to my limit. If you want to take control of your finances and save money, then you must try Rocket Money. Head to rocketmoney.com/morbidforfun or click the link in the description to get started for free. Over 5 million people are already using Rocket Money to save and manage their money better. Once again, to save more and spend less, join them by heading to rocketmoney.com/morbidforfun or clicking the link below. You can even unlock more features with premium, and thank you Rocket Money for sponsoring this video. California, Chuck E. Cheese commercial. There are so many pieces of lost media that I could talk about for California, so I had to pick my favorite one, which is the Chuck E. Cheese commercial. In the late 1970s Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time Theater, aired a brief 30-second animated commercial called The Great All-American Pizza Show, which ran from December 1979 to early 1980. Despite its short airtime, the commercial became a mystery due to its limited information and few surviving materials. Clues about the commercial were found in the Pizza Times, a newsletter for employees, which mentioned its release to promote birthday parties, mainly on local TV stations in California. The commercial resurfaced in part through a few saved animation cells owned by Damon Berland of Smitty's Super Service Station. These cells were first seen in a YouTube video by Said Streets and Eats in March of 2022. High-quality scans briefly appeared on Facebook before being preserved on the Internet Archives. The commercial, rumored to have been created by Colossal Pictures, might have included both animation and live-action elements. There's speculation that the artist behind the Rat Tales comics, and possibly Lee Mars, contributed to its creation. Now, a few months ago, this piece of lost media was found, but it was fake and instead a fan recreation. And sadly, it's still lost. The reason why this commercial is one of my favorite pieces of lost media is because I flew out to Mississippi to see these animation cells in person, and it was such a surreal experience because I got to hold a piece of lost media, which is just insane, dude. That was a fun video, and I for sure want to do more IRL videos in the future. If you want a more detailed video about me talking about these commercials, go watch that video. It is such a banger. Colorado Columbine 9/11 phone call. The Columbine Library audio is a 9/11 call made by art teacher Patty Nielsen during the Columbine High School shooting on April 20th, 1999. While the first 5.5 minutes of the call has been publicly released, the rest is only available in transcript form. The audio captures the horrifying moments before the death of 10 students, with some victims pleading for their lives. Families of the victims have opposed the full release, fearing it could inspire copycat attacks. In the released portion, one shooter demands everyone in the library to stand, followed by the sound of continuous gunfire. Nielsen is heard praying as the operator urges her to stay quiet. The audio includes racist slurs directed at a victim before being shot. A loud crash is heard when one of the attackers smashes a computer near Nielsen's hiding spot. The recording reportedly lasts about 27 minutes, though there are claims that up to 3 hours were recorded since the phone was off the hook. Some of the victims' families were given the option to hear the recording, though many declined. Survivors and those involved describe the audio as incredibly painful to listen to. There have been false claims about the full 911 recording being leaked, but the audio remains with the Jefferson County Police Department, with no plans for a full release. However, a reconstruction of the call is available on YouTube. Connecticut, The Montefuscos. The Montefuscos was a sitcom that aired briefly on NBC from September to October 1975. It focused on a working-class Italian-American family in New Canaan, Connecticut. Breaking away from the typical TV portrayal of WASP culture, the show centered around weekly Sunday dinners hosted by Rose and Tony Papa Montefusco, where family conflicts and comedic situations unfold, often without resolution by the end of the episode. The series faced challenges due to the FCC's family viewing hour regulation, limiting its appeal in the early primetime slot, paired with another struggling show, Faye. The Montefuscos failed to attract viewers, and its ratings quickly plummeted. Despite filming 13 episodes, the show was cancelled after airing between 2 and 8 episodes. Currently, only a promotional video and an episode titled Behind Papa's Behind are available, with at least one episode archived at the Library of Congress, though it's not publicly accessible due to copyright issues. Delaware. Delaware 500 race NASCAR. The 1984 Delaware 500, held on September 16 at Dover International Speedway in Delaware, was a key race in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. Harry Gant won the race after leading 281 of 500 laps, edging out Terry Labonte, who led for 104 laps. Despite Labonte's strong performance, Gant's victory helped his championship bid. The race had 10 cautions and saw 9 drivers retire due to accidents, including a serious crash by Bobby Allison. Gant's win earned him 185 points, but Labonte ultimately won the 1984 Winston Cup by finishing the season with 4,508 points, 65 points ahead of Gant. From the looks of it and further research, it seems that this race was untelevised, meaning that this is forever lost media. Florida, Christine Chubbuck. On July 15, 1974, television news reporter Christine Chubbuck tragically took her life on live TV during broadcast on WXLT-TV in Florida. Known for her morning show, Suncoast Digest, Chubbuck had previously made comments about doing such act on air, which were dismissed as jokes. On the day of the accident, she unexpectedly requested to read a newscast and, after reporting on several stories, made a chilling statements before offing herself on camera. Viewers and colleagues initially thought that this was a grim prank, which in reality it was far from it. She was rushed to the hospital but passed away the following day. The broadcast was not widely recorded and the footage is considered lost. While there have been claims of its existence in FBI training videos or online sources, these are unlikely. A copy of the footage was reportedly kept by the widow of the station's former owner, but was never shared. Chubbuck's family, who were given the original tapes by the Sarasota Sheriff's Department, are said to have destroyed them to prevent their release. Rumors of a third copy existing in FCC archives have been denied, although audio of the incident surfaced in 2021. While the audio is found, the footage is still lost media, and hopefully it stays that way.
Georgia. Showbiz Pizza x Yogi Bear. Hey guys, I know this new voice in the video just shocked you, but if you don't know me, my name is Tuv, and I also make my own format like this, the one blank, every 50 states, whatever. And since we're talking about animatronics and we're also on the Morbid for Fun channel, I just figure I'd let you guys know that we actually made a documentary almost a year ago to the day. This documentary revolves around the history of animatronics, and we actually go visit some extremely rare robots. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure to go check that out, of course, after this video. And Morbid even uploaded his own version of that video here on this channel, so I'm sure he's gonna leave links down in the description. Anyway, let's keep talking about Georgia's lost media. Showbiz Pizza was a popular American restaurant chain founded in 1980 by Robert L. Brooke and creative engineering in Kansas City, Missouri. The chain combined dining with arcade games and featured a stage with animatronic characters performing in a fictional band named the Rock-afire Explosion. The animatronic band included characters such as Billy Bob Broccoli, Fats Geronimo, Mitzi Mozzarella, Duke LaRue, Beach Bear, Rolf and Earl, Looney Bird, and various guest characters. These characters were later replaced by those from Chuck E. Cheese following the merger of the two companies. By 1992, Showbiz Pizza locations were rebranded to Chuck E. Cheese's Pizza, which continues to operate today. In 1987, Showbiz Pizza aimed to introduce licensed guest characters to their venues. After reviewing options, they chose Hanna-Barbera's Yogi Bear and Boo Boo as the most cost-effective choice. Animatronics for Yogi Bear and Boo Boo were created and installed at 3 locations, one of them being Augusta, Georgia. The other 2 locations are Omaha, Nebraska, and Colorado Springs. But Morbid will talk about a different piece of lost media whenever he gets to Nebraska. The animatronics were designed by Joel Kamen and Paul Linden, using the mech of the Rolf animatronic as a base. Creative Presentations Incorporated completed the prototype in April of 1987. Following the completion of the models, Showbiz Pizza's entertainment department produced a show tape featuring voice work by Yogi Bear and Boo Boo's original voice actors, that being Dawes Butler and Don Messick, respectively. Unfortunately, the show tape was believed to be lost, with no details about its audio or the show's content, apart from images of the set, background audio for the voice actors, and scripts. The popularity of the show remains uncertain, but it's believed that it was unsuccessful given that it was only installed at 3 initial locations. On August 15, 2020, the full audio of the show tape was made available here on YouTube by the fan website showbizpizza.com as part of their Rockapalooza 2020 event celebrating the 40th anniversary of the Rock-afire Explosion. The audio, preserved on a cassette by co-producer and scriptwriter Steve White, is nearly complete, with only a few seconds missing from the song Every Breath You Take due to cassette duration limitations.
Hawaii, Kanye West. Kanye West's track Mama's Boyfriend was created during the production of his 2010 album My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which was primarily produced in communal sessions in Honolulu, Hawaii. The song addresses Kanye's childhood experiences with his mother's boyfriends and was initially produced by Madlib before being reworked by Q-Tip, though Connie performed an a cappella at Facebook offices back in 2010. The song was left off the final album. In 2011, a leaked version of the track surfaced, with Universal confirming the authenticity of Kanye's vocals but dismissing the instrumental as unofficial. In 2013, Q-Tip played an 80-second clip of his version, which sampled Billy Joel's "Movin' Out" at the Red Bull Music Academy, also mentioning an alternate version featuring Soulja Boy. On September 22, 2023, Q-Tip's version was leaked on a Kanye West fan Discord server, Yeezy Cord. Despite multiple versions, the track remains unreleased in its official form. Idaho, Flip Sun Valley Olympad. Flip Sun Valley Olympad was a 1-hour special featuring Flip Wilson that aired on CBS on April 14, 1976. In this special, Wilson hosted and performed in his unique, comedic take on the Winter Olympics, joined by a range of guests from the world of comedy, music, and sports. The special was filmed entirely on location in Sun Valley, Idaho, and featured a variety of winter sports activities. Highlights included a freestyle hot dog, skiing exhibition, a downhill race for toddlers, a dog sled race, and a performance by the Sun Valley Suns hockey team. Alongside the sports action, the special also featured musical performances, comedy sketches, and championship exhibitions by top athletes. Despite its star-studded cast and unique concept, Flip Sunny Valley Olympad fell into obscurity after it aired only once. It was not included in the official filmography of Flip Wilson, nor was it ever released in any format. Today, only a few still images from the special are available online. Illinois Snavely. Snavely was a pilot episode created as a US adaptation of the British sitcom Fawlty Towers. The pilot aired on June 24, 1978, but it never developed into a full series. The title role was played by Harvey Korman, known for his supporting roles in many of Mel Brooks' films. The pilot drew inspiration from episodes of Fawlty Towers, specifically The Hotel Inspectors and The Germans. Unlike the full unaired German remake titled Hotel, however you pronounce this because I do not speak German, no footage from Snavely has been featured in retrospectives on Fawlty Towers. However, the script for the pilot is preserved in the library at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. In February 2020, the entire pilot episode was uploaded to a YouTube channel by the name The Monthly Python Museum. Indiana, Norm Nat. Jim Davis, famous for creating Garfield, started with a lesser-known comic strip called Norm Nat, which ran from March 1st, 1973 to December 25, 1975. Norm Nat featured anthropomorphic insects including the titular Norm, a straight man with Walter Mitty tendencies, and other characters like Freddy the Fly, Cecile the Slug, and Lehman, a free spirit bug. An early strip even mentioned John Arbuckle, a name later used in Garfield. Published weekly in the Pendleton Times in Indiana, Norm Nat struggled to gain wider syndication, with critics finding the insect characters unrelatable and unfunny. An urban legend falsely claimed that the final strip showed Norm being stepped on by a human, but the actual last comic simply featured Norm thanking his fans. After Norm Nat, Davis created John, a comic about John Arbuckle and his cat Garfield, which ran from 1976 to 1978. Some John strips, often recycled from Norm Nat, were later adapted into Garfield comics. Garfield became popular in 1978 and grew into a massive media franchise. Despite its connections with Garfield, Norm Nat remained obscure for many decades, with few strips resurfacing. In January 2020, YouTuber Quentin Reviews traveled to Pendleton, Indiana, scanned all available Norm Nat and John comics, and released them to the public in June 2020 alongside a documentary about his efforts. Iowa, Slipknot. Slipknot, the American heavy metal band hailing from Des Moines, Iowa, was formed in 1995. Initially, Anders served as the lead vocalist until Corey Taylor took over the role in 1997. However, there are lost demos dating back to 1992 that feature some of the original band members. Between 1997 and 1998, both Anders and Corey collaborated, with Corey re-recording some of the demos before Anders eventually departed. Although a few tracks from these demos have surfaced online, it's important to note that most of the lost recordings are held in private collections and have been digitally preserved. Kansas, A Space Odyssey. 2001 A Space Odyssey is a 1968 sci-fi film directed by Stanley Kubrick, inspired by Arthur C. Clarke's works, including The Sentinel. The film explores humanity's evolution and space exploration, highlighting tension between humans and machines. After its premiere, Kubrick made 17 minutes of cuts to improve pacing, and he personally ensured the destruction of the negatives, believing they should never be seen again. The deleted scenes included parts of the Dawn of Man sequence, Frank Pohl jogging, Dave Bowman searching for a part, and a scene where Hall cuts off communication. In 2017, Warner Bros. Reportedly found the footage in a Kansas vault, but its release remains uncertain. Kentucky, Strange Kentucky People. In his 2007 autobiography, A Lion's Tale, Around the World in Spandex, wrestler Chris Jericho re-encountered a bizarre fan interaction during his time in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. A fan gave him a tape claiming that it contained all of Chris Jericho's matches, but it turned out to be a weird tribute video, now famously referred to as Strange Kentucky People. Reason why it's called that is because he received the tape in Kentucky. The tape featured the fan, whom Jericho nicknamed Farley Loaf for her resembling Chris Farley and Meatloaf, professing her love to Jericho while wearing a rebel flag t-shirt that read, "You wear your colors, I'll wear mine." Set in a cluttered living room, adorned with posters of Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson from the Rock and Roll Express, and religious imagery. The fan danced awkwardly and mumbled incoherently in a scene that Jericho likened to the movie Misery. As the tape progressed, her family joined in. A man, possibly her brother or husband, talked about his love for wrestling and then audibly passes gas, prompting a toothless woman to pat his butt and comment on the fragrance. The fan even mentioned she liked Jericho's tag team partner, Lance Storm, before pushing a toy wheelbarrow and shaking her bottom. The camera eventually panned to their yard, filled with rusty vehicles and dogs, further adding to the strangeness. The tape ended with another woman sporting a haircut reminiscent of Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber, declaring her love for the Thrill Seekers and her plan to name her children Chris and Lance and her dog Storm. The tape was so bizarre that Jericho found it more entertaining than his actual matches, and it became notorious in the wrestling tape trading community under the title Strange Kentucky People. Despite its infamy, no footage or images of the tape have ever resurfaced, making it one of the most sought after holy grails of wrestling lost media. Coming from a wrestling fan, I do admit that there are so many weird wrestling fans, but this one takes the cake. Louisiana Spring Break 83. Spring Break 83 is an unreleased, raunchy comedy that was originally slated for release in 2012. Filmed in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, it was written and directed by Mars Callahan and produced by Big Sky Motion Pictures, Callahan's own production company. The film centers on the Zeros, a group of four nerdy friends who, after being bullied by their classmates, plot their revenge as freshmen during spring break of 1983. Despite the film being fully produced, it was ultimately shut down due to disputes with actors and technicians' unions over unpaid wages. There were rumors that Spring Break 83 premiered at the Sundance Film Festival in January 2009, but it was never actually shown there. Instead, it was reportedly screened at an unknown venue in Park City, Utah, coinciding with the Sundance event. As of now, the official website for Big Sky Motion Pictures is defunct, and the film remains unreleased. Maine. Undertaker vs. Randy Savage. On January 30th, 1991, a dark match between Randy Savage and The Undertaker took place in Portland, Maine, after a WWF television taping at the Civic Center. This was one of only 3 single matches between the two, none of which were televised. The match was part of an untelevised feud that began after The Undertaker and Jake Roberts disrupted Savage and Miss Elizabeth wedding at SummerSlam 1991. Savage won the match, which was filmed but never aired. Clips of the bout later surfaced in a WWE video, sparking hope that the full match might eventually be released. Despite this, the match remains unreleased, making it a piece of wrestling lost media.
Maryland, Ig Doof. Ig Doof was a comic strip created by Jeff Kinney, the author of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. The strip ran from 1989 to 1993, beginning in the campus newspaper of Villanova University before Kinney transferred to the University of Maryland, where it continued for the remainder of its run. After ending the strip, Kinney attempted to get it published in newspapers but faced rejection, prompting him to create a book that would eventually evolve into Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Ig Doof featured the titular character, who was a college student dealing with typical challenges like getting to class on time, dealing with roommates, and studying for exams. Many elements from the strip found their way into Diary of a Wimpy Kid. For instance, Ig Doof's younger brother's design was later used for Greg's little brother Manny, and several characters and concepts such as Ugly Eugene, Poosh for the Green Bean, and the Fart Police were repurposed into Diary of a Wimpy Kid do-it-yourself book. Other ideas like the Do Plant Sneeze, Science Experiment, and Lil Eugene also made their way into Kinney's later work. For a long time, only a handful of Ig Doof comics were known, with most information coming from Kinney's biography. However, on June 10, 2021, all strips from the 1992 to 93 period were uploaded to the Internet Archive. Later, on June 30th, 2021, the remaining Ig Doof comics from Villanova University were discovered and preserved within the university's archival of the Villanova newspaper.
Massachusetts, The Marvel Superheroes. The Marvel Superheroes was a syndicated animated series that aired in 1966, featuring 5 different Marvel Comics characters. Each day of the week highlighted a new hero: Captain America on Mondays, the Hulk on Tuesdays, Iron Man on Wednesdays, Thor on Thursdays, and Prince Namor the Submariner on Fridays. The show used minimal animations, primarily relying on comic book panels that were photocopied onto cells with minor movements added to certain body parts. While airing on WNAC-TV in Boston, Massachusetts, actor Arthur Pierce portrayed Captain America in live-action segments between the animated episodes. Other characters like Doctor Doom, the Hulk, and Bucky occasionally appeared in these segments as well. To date, the only surviving footage of these live-action moments is a low-quality clip of Pierce delivering a speech as Captain America. This fragment was captured using a silent black and white Super 8mm camera aimed at TV, with audio recorded via reel-to-reel tape recorder placed near the television speaker. These materials were later synced and uploaded to YouTube. Michigan, In the Mind of the Damned. In the Mind of the Damned, the second film by the Dunn-Leasic Group, was released in early 2013 but remained obscure. The group had gained some attention for their Z-grade monster film, The Melonheads, which was highlighted in an article on Crack Magazine. Unlike The Melonheads, In the Mind of the Damned took a darker, more serious approach, focusing on the psychological breakdown of a young man following a traumatic acid trip. It included disjointed dream sequences and was filmed around Eastern Michigan University's East Campus before it was demolished. The film faced controversy, as the cast objected to its themes of drug use and murder. It was briefly available on public domain website but was quickly removed due to legal issues. On December 24, 2018, an anonymous user claimed to have received the full movie from the director themselves and later uploaded to Google Drive. Minnesota, Pedro Ruiz stunt recording. On June 26, 2017, YouTuber Pedro Ruiz tragically died during a stunt for his YouTube channel, Damn It Boy. The stunt involved his girlfriend, Mona Lisa Perez, firing a .50 caliber Desert Eagle at him while he held a hardcover encyclopedia, believing that the buck would stop the bullet. Despite her hesitance and warnings about this stunt, she decided to go through with it, and unfortunately, the bullet pierced through the book, fatally striking Ruiz in the chest. The incident was witnessed by around 30 people, including the couple's young daughter. Pedro's final words were reportedly, "Stop, babe, stop." He died at the scene at 22 years old. The girlfriend later pleaded guilty to second-degree manslaughter and was sentenced to 180 days in jail and 10 years of probation. While footage of the incident exists, it has been withheld by the court due to its distressing nature, though a 16-minute prelude video was released as part of the media coverage. Mississippi. The Waverly Wonders. The Waverly Wonders was a 1978 sitcom starring Joe Namath and directed by Dick Martin, which aired on NBC. The show, set during a major NBC programming shakeup, featured Joe as a retired basketball player turned teacher and coach. Despite a high-profile launch with Dean Martin and O.J. Simpson, the series struggled with low ratings and negative reviews, which eventually led to cancellation. Not only that, it was cancelled after just 3 episodes. The show's premise was criticized as unoriginal and predictable, and while some promotional material survives, the episodes themselves are lost, with only one segment preserved in the Mississippi State University archives. Missouri. Owen Hart. On May 23, 1999, professional wrestler Owen Hart tragically fell from the rafters of the Kemper Arena in Kansas City, Missouri during the pay-per-view event WWF Over the Edge 1999. Hart was performing a stunt as his Blue Blazer persona, which involved being lowered into the ring by a harness before his Intercontinental Championship match against The Godfather. The plan was for Hart to release the harness a few feet above the ring to create a comedic effect, mimicking the clumsiness of his superhero character. However, the harness was released prematurely, causing Hart to plummet 24 meters and land chest first on the top rope before being thrown violently into the ring. The impact caused severe injuries, and Hart later passed away at the hospital from blunt force trauma to the chest. The fall occurred during a pre-recorded segment at the time. An interview with Hart was playing backstage when the broadcast cut back to the arena. Announcers Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross explained the situation while the cameras were directed away from the ring out of respect for the emergency response. This event was briefly halted for 15 minutes before WWE CEO Vince McMahon decided to resume it. An hour later, Lawler and Ross returned to the camera to announce Hart's death. Footage of the accident does exist, but it is reportedly held in the WWE archive in Stamford, Connecticut, with strict instructions never to be viewed or duplicated. The remainder of the event was initially accessible only through bootleg VHS recordings until WWE Network launched in February of 2014. The pay-per-view is now available on services, but of course it's been heavily edited, so it wouldn't include Owen Hart's fall. Montana. I couldn't find any lost media for Montana, so to make it up for you guys, I'll be talking about Hannah Montana. Hannah Montana was a live-action children's sitcom starring Miley Cyrus, airing on Disney Channel from 2006 to 2011. Rumors surfaced in 2010 about an anime adaptation by Toei Animation, but the project was never officially announced and was eventually cancelled. The information was leaked by an animator, Wasted Wisher, on a Dragon Ball fan forum. He revealed that Toei had begun development in 2009, with production on the first episode already underway. However, after multiple leaks, including unannounced Dragon Ball projects, Wasted Wisher was fired. Neither Disney nor Toei ever confirmed the existence of the anime, and the Hannah Montana anime was never released. Nebraska, Children of the Corn. Once again, I couldn't find anything for Nebraska, but the movie titled Children of the Corn takes place in Nebraska, although it was filmed in Iowa, so I'm gonna count this one. Children of the Corn is a supernatural horror film based on Stephen King's 1977 short story. Set in a desolate town in Nebraska, the plot follows a couple, Bert and Vicky, who stumble upon a community run by a cult of children. These children, led by the mysterious Isaac, follow an entity known as He Who Walks Behind the Rose, and believe in killing all adults to maintain their twisted way of life. The film, though initially receiving mixed reviews, has since become a cult classic film, spawning a franchise with 11 movies, including a prequel and remake. Among the characters in the film, one of the most enigmatic is Officer Hotchkiss, referred to as Blue Man by the children. His role was largely reduced due to a mere mention, though it was revealed that he originally had more screen time, including deleted scenes where he is murdered in the police station. This cutscene, discussed by actor Rich Kleinberg in a 2012 interview, remains lost. Despite fan efforts to recover it, the mystery surrounding Blue Man's deleted scenes has made it a piece of sought-after lost media among horror film collectors. Nevada Slamfest 99. Slamfest 99, also known as Super Smash Bros. Live, was a promotional event for the North American release of Super Smash Bros. On the Nintendo 64, held on April 24th, 1999 at the MGM Grand Adventures theme park in Las Vegas, Nevada. The event featured a live stage wrestling match with 4 costume characters from the game, organized by Nintendo of America and Golan Harris. The event was streamed live on the web via Real Player G2. Despite its promotional buzz at the time, footage of the event has become lost media, with no known copies of the official stream or secondhand recordings that were taken at the event. While the match itself lasted about 17 minutes, summaries of the event were posted online. Shortly after, describing the chaotic and comical action, the staged fight saw Mario, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, and Pikachu grappling in a wrestling ring, with the match ending in a draw after all 4 mascots collided and knocked each other out. Despite the fun nature of the event, no footage of Slamfest 99 has resurfaced since the broadcast was removed from the official website in the early 2000s. In May 2020, renewed interest in the event sparked after a viral post on Twitter, leading fans and lost media hunters to search for any trace of the stream. Several articles, summaries, and photographs of the event have since been uncovered, but the actual footage remains missing. New Hampshire, Sesame Street. Granny Fanny Nesselrode, a Muppet character performed by Carol Spinney, appeared on Sesame Street during its first 3 seasons. Her character, who broadcast from her cozy kitchen in Goat Corners, New Hampshire, was best known for her Answer Lady skits, where she humorlessly failed to solve viewers' problems. 6 known skits featuring her include Pencil, Household Hints, Ketchup Problem, Classified Kittens, Telephone, and Alphabet. For a long time, much of her content was considered lost, with only Classifying Kittens available in English, while Telephone was found in German. In 2019, uploads of the skits were removed when YouTube user JFriendsFan96 closed their account, but they re-uploaded the skits in 2020. The Ketchup Problem sketch was found and uploaded in July of 2022 by YouTuber John. And later in October, Lost Media Wiki user YoshiKiller2S uploaded the remaining lost skits after receiving them from an anonymous source, completing the search for Granny Fanny's missing content.
New Jersey, Hip Hip Parade. Hip Hip Parade was a primetime special designed to promote the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, originally airing on PBS stations during Thanksgiving week in 1978. The special was hosted by The Muppet Show starring Kermit the Frog and Fozzie Bear. It offered a behind-the-scenes look at the iconic parade, answering questions like, how does the dragon fly, and who builds the floats? Viewers were also treated to footage from the night before and the day of the 1977 parade, including the final inflation of the original Snoopy balloon dressed as an astronaut. For more than 45 years, no copies were thought to exist, and the only evidence of its existence came from a newspaper review of the parade. However, on December 24th, 2023, YouTube user Rhino84 uploaded the full special, finally bringing it back to the public eye.
New Mexico, Going Wild. Going Wild with Jeff Corwin was a Disney Channel nature documentary series from 1997 to 1999. Jeff traveled to locations like South Africa, Canada, and various US states, searching for a feathered creature in each episode. Despite no DVD release, a few VHS tapes were available between 1998 and 2002. Some partial episodes and promotional clips have appeared online, including 2 promos uploaded by a YouTuber. One of the many episodes that were lost media was filmed in New Mexico, and even Montana. I guess I should have talked about this on the Montana State entry instead of talking about Hannah, Montana. New York Girlquake. Girlquake is an independent film by New York artist Michael Randall, created in the mid-1990s as a throwback to exploitation cinema. Particularly influenced by the works of Russ Myers, the film received attention from critic Joe Bob Briggs in a 1995 review, but ultimately became lost after its limited screening in independent venues across New York and Japan. Despite being acquired by distributors, the movie was never officially released, and it faded into obscurity. The plot follows 5 Amazon women who erupt from the center of the earth in the opening scene. Set in the Arizona diner, they fend off a group of men, one of whom is killed by being drowned in a bowl of meat. The women then set out on a journey to Coney Island in search of their queen, encountering a series of colorful characters, including Ginger, a stripper known as the Queen of Double D's, Queen Zara, a freak show performer, Cheersteen, a drag queen, and a dominatrix. In December 2020, YouTuber Matt Presents rediscovered the existence of Girlquake, and by October 2021 was able to contact Michael Randall, who provided him with a DVD copy of the film. This marked the reappearance of the long-lost film, which remained hidden for decades. North Carolina Barney video game. In 1992, the Lions Group planned to release a series of educational computer games based on Barney and Friends for children ages 3 to 8, with Denise Allen supervising development. One of the games focused on math, was reportedly almost finished and set to be tested in schools in North Carolina and Texas. The game featured interactive mini games, including one where players identified letters inside bubbles and allowed players to select multiracial avatars. Despite marketing plans, the game was never released, and no demo copies are known to exist. It remained largely unknown until YouTuber Barney Millennium discussed it in 2024, leaving the game's existence uncertain and its status as potential lost media. North Dakota, The Platform Master. The Platform Master is a documentary about internet figure Nick Smith, a programmer and video game enthusiast. The film, shot in North Dakota during the 2011 floods, focuses on Nick's unique daily life and the development of his video game, which contains over 300 levels. Initially slated for release in 2012, the project was delayed and rumors circulated that poor reception at film festivals caused it to be shelved. However, on December 31st, 2019, the full documentary was unexpectedly uploaded to YouTube, receiving widespread praise and later being screened at festivals. Ohio, Pink Morning Cartoon. TV8 Kids Fun Fest was an animated children's show that aired on WINJ-LP in Columbus, Ohio, created and voiced by station owner Rev Aya Flowers, with assistance from her daughters. The show, which ran from 1996 to 2004, featured various episodes animated and edited by Flowers herself. Despite its local popularity, only a few clips of the series have surfaced, and most of it is considered lost media. The mystery surrounding the show began in 2007 when a YouTuber named Jeckim Chick uploaded a low-quality VHS clip, which became known as Pink Morning Cartoon. Over time, more clips emerged, but the origins of the cartoon remained unclear until 2020 when Jeckim confirmed the show aired on public access TV in the late 1990s. Speculation grew around whether the series was part of a religious children's program or local TV content. Eventually, after further investigations by fans, Aya Flowers was identified as a creator. In 2020, Flowers' daughter Angela, confirmed via email that TV8 Kids Fun Fest was indeed the name of the show, produced by her mother. Unfortunately, the original tapes were lost after Aya's passing in 2017, possibly stolen or destroyed. However, due to local popularity of the show, there is still hope that recordings may exist among the community, though for now the majority of the series remains lost media. Oklahoma, Winners on the West. Winners on the West is an 18-chapter film serial from 1921, centered around the Vermont expedition of 1849. The story follows John C. Vermont's journey through Oklahoma with help from a mysterious Mexican figure. However, little else is known about the plot, including whether the characters of Arthur Standish and the Mexican were intended to be the same person. An interesting aspect about this serial is its creation. William Lloyd Wright sought to bypass censorship by framing the film as an educational documentary-style project which allowed for more violence than typical films of the time. Directed by William Laemmle and scripted by Ford Beebe and Robert Dillon, the serial featured Art Accord in the dual roles of Standish and the Mexican. Today, Winners of the West is largely considered lost media, with only a poster and a few images having survived. Oregon, Pinky and the Brain Brainstem. Pinky and the Brain, a spin-off from Animaniacs that debuted in 1995, follows two mice who attempt different schemes to take over the world. In the third episode, a song called Brainstem teaches viewers about the parts of the brain. However, a month before the official premiere, certain Warner Bros. Affiliates such as KWBP32 in Portland aired a version with an alternate line. In this version, Brain says, "Now let's get this show on the road. Yes." Instead of the final version's line, "They ought to keep the little squints happy. Yes." Despite a brief mention on a tribute page on Kids WB, no footage of the alternate version had surfaced until May 17, 2023, when Peter Partridge, the author of the Kids WB page, shared a VHS recording of their promo on Twitter. This rediscovery marked the first time the rare version was seen in decades, making it a significant find in the realm of lost media. Pennsylvania Subway Commercial. In the mid-1990s, Subway aired a peculiar low-budget commercial that stood out from their usual polished advertisements. Unlike typical Subway promotions, this ad featured amateur actors, subpar production quality, and effects reminiscent of a local TV spot or public access show. Due to these elements, it's believed that the commercial wasn't produced by Subway's main corporate office for national distribution, but was likely used to promote individual local franchises. The commercial began on a fog-covered set with a stark white background. A bald, middle-aged man with a mustache and a Middle Eastern appearance was shown groveling before an old bearded sage. The man pleaded with the sage to reveal the path to truth and perfection, to which the sage replied, "Perfection can be yours. Take your hunger to Subway subs." The bald man appeared confused, and the scene transitioned into a montage of Subway sandwiches. A voiceover described the subs as true perfection, with the word perfection displayed on screen before dissolving with a cheap animation effect. The commercial concluded with the bald man excitedly exclaiming Subway as he took a big bite of the sandwich and uttered, This lost commercial was brought back into public attention in February 2019 by Julius Von Brunk, an artist who goes by the moniker Baron Von Brunk on social media. Julius created a mini documentary chronicling his search for the commercial, reenacting its synopsis using Lego, puppets, and stop-motion animations. He recalled seeing the commercial frequently on TV in South Central Pennsylvania to the point where it became a running joke among him and his friends. Julius posted his video on Reddit, sparking intrigue among users, some of whom remembered seeing similar commercials for other restaurants like Mr. Sub and Quiznos. Julius noted that he grew up in South Central central Pennsylvania in the 1990s, while others on Reddit claim to have seen this ad in places like Kentucky, the Midwest, and Canada. This led to the speculation that the commercial was produced by a small ad agency for generic use by sandwich restaurants, with regional sub-chains licensing it for their own use. In Julius's case, the commercial likely aired in Subway locations on the East Coast, while simultaneously being licensed to Mr. Sub and Quiznos restaurants in other regions. Julius's videos were shared across various Reddit communities, with users recalling the original commercial, though no footage had surfaced. Then, on January 28, 2021, Instagram user Vidiot Savant uploaded the commercial, describing it as an awesome, super weird regional Subway commercial from the 90s found on a tape from Pennsylvania. This upload went unnoticed until April 25, 2021, when Baron von Brunk confirmed it as the real commercial. Julius admitted to misremembering some details. After all, it's been over 20 years since he last saw the commercial, such as the background being black with a mountain setting. In reality, the background was white and lacked mountains, but the fog effect he remembered was accurate, as was the appearance and dialogue of the bald man. Rhode Island Rude Removal. Rude Removal is an infamous unaired episode of Dexter's Laboratory where Dexter and Dee Dee are split into rude and polite versions of themselves, leading to censored swearing and bad behavior. Despite being fully produced, Cartoon Network pulled the episode due to concerns over potential backlash. Creator Jendi occasionally screened the episode at events, including a notable lecture at the Rhode Island School of Design in 2008, keeping its memory alive. In 2012, renewed interest led to Adult Swim releasing a censored version on YouTube in 2013, which was quickly mirrored by fans. While rumors of an uncensored version persist, it has never officially surfaced. Its rediscovery became a landmark moment for lost media enthusiasts and fans of the show.
South Carolina, Let the Sword Descend. Moriah was a thrash metal band hailing from Greenville, South Carolina, formed in 1983. The lineup featured Chief Spires on bass, Pete Hamura on drums, Carl Sanders on guitar, and vocalist Sonny Stafford. The band existed until sometime before '93 when Spires, Hamura, and Sanders went on to form the brutal/technical death metal band Nile. Over the years, all three musicians participated in various other metal bands across different subgenres. Nile's shift toward death metal is said to have been influenced by Carl Sanders' introduction to the genre through David Vincent of Morbid Angel, a band considered a pioneering force in death metal. During their time together, Moriah released at least one demo tape titled Let the Sword Descend. The 5-track demo, sold via mail order for $6, eventually became a rare collector's item, with its songs remaining unavailable for many years. On February 2, 2014, drummer Pete Hamura uploaded 3 tracks, The Hate Mongers, Horror of Warfare, and Marquise de Sade. He posted these to his Reverb Nation page. Later, on April 28, 2016, a full rip of the demo, including the remaining tracks Black River and Let the Sword Descend, was shared on metalarea.org by user Jason thanks to a recording provided by Discogs user Thrash Metler.
South Dakota, Jim and Judy in Teleland. Jim and Judy in Teleland is an early animated TV series created by Paul N. Peroff, originally produced between 1949 and 1950. The show follows siblings, Jim and Judy, as they embark on adventures by entering their television. Despite producing 52 episodes, Peroff struggled to find distribution, and this series was eventually sold to Venezuela, Deadwood, South Dakota, and Japan. The series faded into obscurity after its initial runs, with only a few episodes surviving. On June 20th, 2017, YouTuber Char Char uploaded episode 8, where Jim and Judy explore the Australian outback. Additional episodes were later posted by a different YouTuber on July 1st, 2022. Before this, only the series title card and a single screenshot were available. Jim and Judy in Teleland is notable for being one of the first animated series produced for television, and is recognized as the first anime where the original audio was dubbed with Japanese dialogue. The recovered episodes and related materials can be found on the Thunderbean Archive Blu-ray disc Odds and Ends Rare Animated Shorts. Tennessee, 1982 Macy's Parade. The 1982 Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, held on November 25, 1982, was affected by high winds, causing damage to several balloons. Notable moments include the last appearance of the Snoopy balloon before its 1985 return, and the final public appearance of Will Lee, who played Mr. Hooper in Sesame Street. Despite widespread bootlegging of other Macy's parades, the full 1982 parade remained elusive for many years. While some clips were available, including a notable performance by the Clinton High School marching band from Tennessee, the complete parade was not seen in full. This changed on April 11, 2022, when previously unseen footage was uploaded by Retro Game Planet, with the full parade being posted online on April 15, 2022. Texas. Mexicana Supermarket. In the summer of 1999, Mexicana Supermarket in Fort Worth, Texas was abandoned after its owner declared bankruptcy, leaving all inventory to spoil. This created a biohazardous environment with rotting food, insects, and rodents, drawing complaints from nearby residents. A cleanup process was initiated by city officials who wore hazmat suits to enter the hazardous building. Footage of the abandoned store was captured by local news and city officials, but most of it remained lost. However, clips of a walkthrough later resurfaced in a 2010 episode of Life After People, which featured Mexicana Supermarket as a case study. The full uncut footage has not been recovered, but in recent years, research by Benjamin McHale confirmed that some footage is still in archives, though it's difficult to access. Utah. Aaron Ralston. On April 26, 2003, 26-year-old climber Aaron Ralston became trapped in Blue John Canyon, Utah, after a boulder pinned his right hand to the canyon wall. Ralston has not informed anyone of his plans, making a rescue unlikely. Over the next several days, he rationed his limited food and water while documenting his experience on video, assuming that he wouldn't survive. After multiple failed attempts to break free, he ultimately amputated his own arm on the 6th day and hiked to safety. Ralston's ordeal gained widespread attention, and in 2010, it was adapted into the film 127 Hours. The production team was granted access to his personal video diaries, with some of the dialogue taken directly from it. Although there was interest in making the entire footage public, Ralston decided to keep it private for his family. However, one video clip and a few audio excerpts have been released, leaving the rest of the footage unreleased and effectively lost to the public. Vermont. Postcards from Buster. Postcards from Buster, a spin-off of Arthur produced by Sinner and Mark Brown Studios, followed Buster Baxter, the lovable friend of Arthur. On March 22, 2005, an episode titled Sugar Time, Heinsberg, Vermont aired, but it quickly faced backlash and was banned in the US due to its portrayal of a lesbian couple. This sparked controversy, especially within the LGBT community. The episode, known for its rarity, featured Buster trying to find the perfect Mother's Day gift for his mom. After its initial broadcast, it was never aired again, and wasn't included in any official releases. For a long time, its existence was mostly supported by a short clip on YouTube, making it a piece of lost media. However, it resurfaced when an anonymous user uploaded the full episode to kisscartoon.me, finally making it accessible again. Virginia. The phone call from room 211. The phone call from room 211 refers to a nearly 10-minute 911 call made by a student during the 2007 mass shooting at Virginia Tech. The call was placed from room 211 in Norris Hall, where students and their professor were trapped while the gunman attacked classrooms. During the call, the students described the chaotic scene, with the sound of gunfire and frantic efforts to barricade the door in the background. The 911 dispatcher communicated with multiple students, including one who took over the call after the original caller was injured. As the shooting continued, the dispatcher guided the survivors, offering reassurance while waiting for police to arrive. After several minutes of gunfire and moments of terrifying silence, the police finally broke through the chain doors of the building and secured the area. Due to its graphic content, the 911 call was deemed too graphic for public release. Though referenced in news coverage, no actual audio has been shared. The call, which captures the death of multiple victims in the room, remains private, with survivors survivors and responders describing it as one of the most harrowing recordings they've ever encountered. As of 2021, it's unclear if the recording still exists. Washington, Detour. Detour is a 1992 film directed and produced by Wade Williams, serving as a remake of the 1945 film noir of the same name. The story centers around Al Roberts, a nightclub musician who, while hitchhiking from New York to California, became entangled in a dangerous crime with a woman named Vera. Notably, Al is played by Tom Neer Jr., the son of the actor who portrayed the same role in the original film. Detour was released only on VHS, with very limited distribution. As a result, it became incredibly hard to find, with one known copy available for rental at Scarecrow Video in Seattle, Washington, where it required a $150 deposit due to its scarcity. For years, the film was considered lost until a user named Chris the Geek 517 uploaded the full movie on YouTube on September 15th, 2017, making it available to the public. West Virginia, Mothman. Mothman was an independent horror film written and directed by Doug TenNapel, set in West Virginia. The film follows an animator who encounters the Mothman, a creature believed to have vanished decades earlier. Despite an intriguing premise, the project encountered severe budget cuts and production delays, leading to its abandonment before completion. Although sneak previews and trailers were made, the film was never finished, and the reason for the abandonment remains unclear. A brief 22-minute cut of the film was recently found and shared, but longer feature-length versions are still missing. Wisconsin, Goodwill Halloween commercial. From 2002 to 2010, Goodwill aired a unique stop-motion Halloween commercial in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The ad featuring witches and mummies became a sought-after piece of lost media. In May 2021, user Darren L. began searching for it, reaching out to Goodwill and local TV stations without success. The search expanded to Reddit communities, which revealed the commercial was locally produced by Frank L. Anderson. On October 11th, 2021, a Reddit user found a VHS tape of the commercial, converted it to digital, and confirmed it was the sought-after ad, making this very obscure Goodwill commercial found media.
Wyoming, Batman Meets Godzilla. Batman Meets Godzilla is an unproduced crossover comedy film that would have combined the 1966 Adam West version of Batman with the iconic Godzilla. The script was written around the time Batman debuted on ABC, or possibly even before. 2 treatments were drafted for the film, though only one is known to have been preserved, while the fate of the second remains a mystery. The plot begins with Commissioner Gordon and his daughter, Barbara, vacationing on a cruise ship in the Far East. Commissioner Gordon is there to inspect local police operations, while Barbara is eager to reunite with her old college friend, Riko Hamamoto. However, their trip takes a dark turn when a massive tidal wave capsizes their ship. It is soon revealed that the wave was caused by Klaus Finster, a German meteorologist who relocated to Japan and now claims to have control over the weather. Finster threatens to destroy Japan unless he's paid $20 million in gold. In response, Gordon contacts Batman and Robin to stop Finster's plot. However, it's later revealed that Finster doesn't control the weather at all. Instead, he has control over Godzilla. When Finster learns that Batman and Robin are on their way, he unleashes Godzilla to wreak havoc across Japan. Finster also creates an android clone of Count Dreidel, a friend of Batman, to fight heroes. After defeating the android, Batman and Robin join forces with Commissioner Gordon and the local police. Batman quickly realizes that Godzilla is responsible for the destruction, which is confirmed after they review the footage from Godzilla vs. King Kong. Before confronting Finster, our heroes encounter more trouble during a chaotic sword fight that erupts during a kabuki show. Riko Hamamoto is decapitated in the fray, only for it to be revealed that she was actually a robot built by Finster. After escaping, Batman and Robin find themselves in a deadly car chase, where they nearly suffocate inside a rigged taxi filled with toxic gas. Luckily, Batgirl arrives just in time to melt the taxi door and save them. Batman tracks Godzilla to Takata, earning the trust of the Japanese government, and the team follows the monster to Osaka. They construct a machine that mimics Godzilla's mating call and use it to lure him. In the climactic battle, Finster meets his end by falling from a building, but not before Godzilla captures Batgirl. Batman uses the mating call to distract Godzilla, causing him to hurl Batgirl to safety. Batman then climbs Godzilla, attaches an explosive to his back, and sends the creature flying into space. Toho had planned Batman Meets Godzilla as a follow-up to the success of Godzilla vs. King Kong, 1962, hoping for another hit by crossing over with the popular Batman series. However, the project was shelved when Batman producer William Dozier declined to pursue it as a sequel to the 1966 Batman film. And also the declining ratings of the TV series led to its eventual cancellation. The American treatment of the script is housed at the University of Wyoming, but the Japanese version, written by Godzilla screenwriter Shinichi Sekizawa, has never been found. Due to newer Godzilla films, the end of the 66 Batman series, and the passing of Adam West, the project is unlikely to ever surface. Like I said when I did my first narration a couple minutes ago, I don't even know how long this video is going to be, but I just want to say my name is Tuv. I have 2 million subscribers. If you guys want to go check out some morbid documentaries, be my guest. I would love if you guys could go check it out. I'm not even asking for you to subscribe, but it would be awesome if you could just give me a chance. That's really it. Shout out Aaron for including me in this video and stealing my video idea. No, I'm just kidding. I gave him, I think this is a really cool idea. That's why I even wanted to join it. But let's head on to whatever Aaron's going to talk about next, or is the outro. I don't know. Let's head on to whatever's next.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It truly does mean a lot to me, and this is like the first ever big video I've made, which I do like the process, but I am a morning person and it's very late at night, which in case you guys don't know, I now record my videos during nighttime because visually, like lighting wise, it's amazing. So I just made that little switch. Shout out to Tuv for randomly wanting to hop on this video. Obviously this is like a little spin-off to his series of the whole like 50 states thing. I decided to do it. I told him the idea and he wanted to hop on, so I'm like, all right, bet, let's do this. And dude, I've been working on so many longer videos, which I really hate not being consistent on YouTube, but I'm trying to make longer videos for you guys. I got 2. Well, one project is confirmed, but the other project, I'm like working on it, which is an IRL video with Tuv. I mean, hopefully it works out. It's gonna be for my channel. I can't wait, but we're still planning it out, dude. So many bangers, bro. Ooh, dude, I can't wait. I mean, I really want to put more videos out for you guys, but like, dude, these projects, man, I'm just super excited. I cannot wait. But enough blabbering. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Follow me on all my social medias and consider subscribing if you're new. I love this job, dude. I love this job.